What is going on? Welcome to the Cone Zone tonight. I am Axl Cones. The first thing I have to say is if one more palooka comes up to me and goes, "What's up?" I'm going to plant a foot so far up your ass, you're going to need a roto-rooter to get it out. This leads me to lawsuits. I'm here to say right now, if you're one of those people who's just waiting to sue somebody because of what somebody says, change the channel now. Whenever somebody says the word lawsuit, I'm waiting for the word frivolous to appear in the same breath. Oh, did you notice Whitney Houston kept her hair over her eyes the entire night? That was to hide the shiner that a 110-pound sponge husband cracked on her before they went to dinner 2 nights before the show.
I didn't see the till just now. Go ahead.
What's that? Your Holiness, that's not what I meant when I asked if Jesus was hung well. I'm already in hell.
You know, I gotta lay low on that one. I'm a Notre Damer, you know.
Do you notice we never see Melissa Rivers' back? That's because she doesn't want to expose the holes that Mama Joan drilled so Melissa could be worked like a puppet. They're tucking their kid in.
Have you seen that band?
Daddy's here for parent-teacher conferences. He's got a big cut-up baby on the side of his van. Oh, nice job, palooka.
You know, these people go home they're tucking in their kid, and the kid's like, where have you and Mommy been all night? Where do you guys go 2 days a week? Well, we go to this doctor's house because we think he's a bad person. He's a baby killer. Now go ahead and go to sleep. Your mom's very tired. She's getting her sleep. But go ahead and pull down your jammy jams real quick, and I'm going to, yeah! That's what the kind of people these people are. They're not any better.
These 6
Right.
No, I'm saying that
kids to live, so they
that's what these people are, man. They put up the good front out in public. As soon as they get inside, they pull them porn and kitty porn and, you know, breaking their kids in. Don't give me that crap. I agree with you.
Anti-abortion people raping their kids at home.
Simon wants to say hello to everybody in TV land. Happy birthday. Yeah, this is Alvin. Alvin and Simon. We're trying to find Theodore. Hello, TV land.
Here we see a 50-year-old Commerce City resident give a thumbs up, signifying that even the sun shines on a dork's dick every now and then.
Everyone back to my place for pong cakes and blueberry squishies after the show. This is subliminal. Sis, you lack. What is this? What is it? We lack quack.
Hockey player is in my quote of the week this week. Florida Panthers hockey player Peter Worrell said in an interview, after getting a penalty for hitting Pittsburgh Penguin Darvis Kasparaitis, quote, "I've had fights with my girlfriend and hit her harder than that." Guy said this.
Where's the love?
And I'm single. And it's a true, can you believe that one?
Where's the love?
That is just as sick as it gets. And finally, oh, Sydney, you're the cutest thing ever. You know that? What'd she say? Your grandmother bit you? Somebody call the police. And the cat scratched you? Now, see, she didn't do this on stage, and she's going off back there. And finally, the new line of bestiality porn was released this week. Miss Hayworth won the bronze medal for the women's weightlifting 75 kilograms plus category. Now, I didn't see this event, but I can only guess that the gold medalist Ding Mian from China, while wearing the gold around her neck, chewed tobacco and scratched her rod and balls during the medal ceremony. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall as Joe employee and Montgomery Burns swapped stories to kill awkward pauses. The CEO could tell his story of how he paid cash for his 2001 Jaguar over the weekend, as his hand worker counters with, since payroll finally got his check right, he took his wife to Red Lobster. Yeah. I want more than 2 bank tellers to wait on the 70 people in line the Friday before a holiday weekend.
Hey, beefcake.
What's your name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Nice to have you on the show, Autumn.
Autumn.
Speaking. Speaking of tools, Autumn, you look like a very smart girl.
Thanks. Don't jinx me.
I won't. This is easy. It's so easy. You'll get this in your sleep.
Okay, good.
How many days in a leap year? We are in one right now. How many days are in a leap year?
I want to call the lifeline.
Oh,
too.
boy.
Ask the audience.
If you can get closer to the mic also, please. How many days in a leap year? And just keep in mind that we have 365 days in a regular year. And when you add a leap year, you add a day.
366.
You are right! Yeah, that's it. Beautiful.
So I gotta lose the shoes?
Michael loses the shoes.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a concert promoter, but I'll play one on TV. I want to put the biggest names in music today. The Backstreet Girls, NSYNC, Eminem, and Limp Bizkit on the same bill. I can call it the Untalented but Still Millionaires Pussy Palooza Tour.
All right.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay. Coming this summer from New Line Productions, Dumb and Dumber Part 2.
You should have had Gore first and then Bush second.
Yeah? I didn't take the photos.
Well, that's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. You can only guess what this one reads. Now remember, if the police ask, you're 18, okay?
Pretty good.
Is that good? Do you like that one? Meanwhile, in the living room, I don't even want to know what that big wet spot is on the front of the guy's pants who's passed out on the leather chair with puke in his hair and his mouth wide open. As the new living room fixture with blood alcohol level of 0.30 snores, bloody drool waterfalls out the side of his mouth and into a pool on his hairy, fat, shirtless, pasty white belly.
It's a business. If someone, like you said earlier in your monologue, if someone doesn't want to play for $4 million a year, go work at freaking Burger King.
Exactly.
I mean, pay me $4 million a year. Hell, I'll be happy in a hot hog in a wet mud puddle. It's like, shit.
I'll suck Michael Jackson's crank for $4 million, all right?
You'll let him babysit your kids.
We'll be right back.
Because I want to be horse shit. That's just your way of saying to the world that nobody can stand your constant bitching, dope smoking, alcohol drinking till you puke, tobacco chewing, line snorting, pathological lying, ball scratching, nose picking, booger eating, cigarette chain smoking, out of control farting, toothless, cussing every other word, porn addiction, jobless, horrific body odor, bitter, jealousy-ridden ass for more than 10 minutes at a time. Your feet won't be planted for 5 minutes before you're confronted by some 16-year-old skateboarding high school dropout wussy boy with so many face piercings he sets off metal detectors at airports. The walking pincushion approaches you with his baggy brand-name pants pulled down, exposing the crack of his future traded for cigarettes in the slam ass. Consensus is the mountains so far. That's really cool.
Well, it's hard not to.
I know. See, I went skiing about 15 years ago, and I haven't been back because it's too touristy up there.
Yeah, but you can go other places, not just skiing, and it's still pretty.
I gotta write that down.
That was funny.
I gotta write that down. Where's my pen? Use that again.
Oh, okay.
Annette's going crazy over there. Huh?
You're so anti.
You're just anti.
I'm anti.
You're anti.
I'm anti-Colorado.
Axl.
Holy shit!
Oh my God.
I will give Oprah some credit. If anybody out there thinks that we live in such a superpower country, I want you to watch 20 minutes of a Jerry Springer talk show. Next to the transient tent was the transgender tent. Guys who want to be women and women who want to be guys. Yeah, there's nothing abnormal about that. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind gay people. I have nothing against gay people. Whatever they want to do in the privacy of their own home is their own business. Hell, if they want to swallow a garden hose and pull it out their ass and floss their innards, I could care less. Look at the stunned faces out there. It's beautiful.
You ready?
How about we do a little sample of the chicken first?
Woo, okay.
And then
And they spank him too.
God damn.
How do you do that? I said, I can't do that. I can't do
Her
that.
birthday's coming up.
It was last Monday.
Wow.
He doesn't have a patent on that move, I know.
That's a rough one.
There you go, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe when he gets naked, we'll bring you back up here and he can give
Okay,
you a
I
full...
can't now. I'm all wet.
Are you wet now, too? There you go. Next, Phil Keating, 32, weekend anchor for Fox News. 2 questions that Phil Keating answered bludgeoned me in the head why he is single. First question, his celebrity dream date. His response, quote, Chelsea Clinton. It's here, I swear to God. Second question, favorite place in Denver. His response, quote, wherever I am. An arrogant pedophile. Boy, women, you can't get a better catch than this, huh? Now I see why women are banging other women. Come on, Keating. Christ, shut your pie hole. You're single-handedly turning the male species into tools. Don't ruin it for those of us who can get laid, okay? Now, I don't want to turn this show into a rally, but folks, we have to take a stand. We need to quit paying for new sports stadiums every 5 years, helping to contribute to greedy athletes making $20 million plus to dunk a basketball, swing a bat, or throw a touchdown, shelling out $80 a ticket to see that old hag Cher's tattooed ass cheeks as her labia drags on the ground like unrefrigerated liver. I said, I'll do a lemonade. The next thing that flew out of this kid's pie hole still haunts me to this day. In fact, I still get chills every time I tell this horrific story. He tells me with a blank stare, quote, "We ain't got no lemonade." You have got to be fucking kidding me. We ain't got no. That is beautiful. You have no idea how close I was to just bitch slapping this little goober punk bastard. Here we see an exclusive photo of Sasha and Jerry Seinfeld's first child, born earlier this month. And in a related story, Melissa Etheridge is now a proud father. to John Elway. You are retired. Retirement means you go away now. I don't care what beer you swill while sitting on the porch with the old man, wife, and kids. Do what retired old men do. Put on the puke-looking pants and go hit golf balls all day. Quit endorsing everything under the sun. I can see it now. Hi, I'm John Elway. When Aunt Flo visits my wife Janet, she ensures her trust in Tampax tampons. Tampax never lets her down on those heavy flow days. So next time you're hemorrhaging like a stuck pig, just remember, Tampax tampons. Rick Springfield, during his set, had to adjourn backstage for a couple of seconds. I can only guess that's so he could get his hip popped back into place. I actually heard the lead singer from Kansas say, quote, "This next song will be on our new record." Apparently he still thinks it's 1978. Speaking of uptight assholes, Independence Elementary School from the Cherry Creek School District here in Colorado made it a rule that students were not allowed to dress up for Halloween. Not only were the kids not allowed to dress up, but they couldn't have any parties in class. In fact, no Halloween celebrating of any kind. Bastard. Hey, yeah. Hey, Cherry Creek, I have the perfect costume for you. It's Big Bird, and it's for you, Cherry Creek. Yeah. This is the biggest load of horse shit I have ever heard. Telling a 9-year-old kid that they're not allowed to dress up for Halloween? Cherry Creek School District needs to concentrate more on their pedophile, porn addict, alcoholic substitute teachers and less time about little Susie and her ballerina costume. Yeah. Nice going, Cherry Creek. Here's an idea. Why don't you, around Christmas time, hand out the flyers to all the K through 4th graders, pictures of naked Santa beating up Mrs. Claus and lighting houses on fire. Here's a little note to the superintendent of the Cherry Creek schools. The next time one of your students snaps like a twig and starts spraying bullets around the playground because he was never allowed to wear his Toy Story 2 costume and kids aren't allowed to be kids anymore, take your, "I don't know how this could have happened at our fine school," as the tears roll down your face, and stay the hell off the front of my newspaper and especially stay off my TV set. And when the next Klebold and Harris surfaces, I hope you're the one duck and covering under cafeteria tables. And isn't it ironic that the school named Independence Elementary wouldn't let their kids dress up for Halloween?
Right.
I guess the principal's last name is Hitler. Okay. Great costume, Mr. Davis. There we go. Jab the Broncos. There we go. It is a masturbation joke. We got it.
Dana, open your mouth.
Here we see Scott Parker and Chris Dingman reenacting a weekend in the Wall household. Yeah, exactly.
Humans judging humans as far as religious morality is ridiculous. I mean, priests, we all know what that whole controversy was with the altar boys. Jesus Christ. And,
yeah, they altered the boys all right.
you know, Jim and Tammy Faye, all, you know, people are people, they're humans, and we all make mistakes. And to forget that as you lead a group of people, I think you're worse than the person that you're throwing stones at.
Slam the government a little bit.
Be my guest.
This is the time of year where the government gets on us about our exhaust out of our cars and how we shouldn't drive our cars as much, and we should carpool with 25 other people that we can't stand. They stink up the car, and you know, guess what, guys? You know, the lights in town are so badly synchronized that it's a common fact that when a car slows down to a stop and accelerates, that's when it burns the most exhaust. So how about, here's an idea, guys. How about synchronizing the lights? There you go. I go from our house, which is, you know, close to, like the bad part of town.
Close to.
Be more specific.
Well, close to.
So I go, let's say example, I go from rehearsal, from my house to rehearsal studio, which is like from Wax Tracks, 13th and
Washington.
Pearl, yeah, to down to like 22nd in Welton. It takes like 45 minutes because the lights are so bad. It's not bad enough that the lights are bad. You pull up to stop, and there's like a human, you know, in need of a body douche standing there holding a sign. Why is there's like one on every single corner now? You notice that? Every single corner.
Body douche.
You need a second job now just to, like, you know, you need to take on a second job to get all these people money. Every single corner, every single light, I gotta stop because they're not synchronized. And there's a guy standing there.
And I love you ever watch, you want
As you roll down your windows, go right in the nuts.
you want to watch, you want to see something hilarious. Pull up next to somebody who's like in that left lane with some dildo holding a sign. Every time the driver is like this, every time.
Yeah.
They don't want to look over, make eye contact, they know they're screwed.
They're afraid the guys to take out his, like, his, you know,
His Johnson.
yeah, his unwashed 16-day-old Schwanz and rub it against the window, you know.
Put it on the glass. The most interesting part about viewing this sad freak show, known as professional wrestling, which I can only guess is being broadcast from Mobile, Alabama, was watching what was going on in the crowd. I sat in disbelief as I saw a hick, pipsqueak spectator stand up and challenge a wrestler to a fight. Jesus Christ, unball your digits and sit the hell down, Cletus. Wrestling may be as fake as Pamela Anderson, but that doesn't mean those guys couldn't tie you in a knot, and while your head is 2 inches from your ass, you could smell what you had for lunch. That's it. There we go. A good ass joke to get you going. These guys are still 6'4", 260 pounds, and if your arch nemesis confronted you in the parking lot with no scripts to follow, he'd grab you by the scruff of your neck like a bitch with her pups and clean the lint ball out of his navel with your face. We need to quit playing the nosy little neighbor who every time a car door slams shut outside has to crack the drapes and see what's going on. Look, there's nothing to see. It's just Diane coming home from her nightly rendezvous with her midget lover after a night of candle wax on the nipples, orgies with female corpses, and S&M spanking games. Now mind your own goddamn business. Here we see a 50-year-old Commerce City resident give a thumbs up, signifying that even the sun shines on a dork's dick every now and then. All right, Mike, you could take one celebrity to a dark alley with no witnesses. Who would it be?
Oh, there are so many possibilities. So many. I mean,
left that open for you in a good way.
And listen, if I had to narrow it down to just one person, it would probably have to be Britney Spears.
Nice.
And not just for the regular reasons that everybody thinks about.
You'd have a conversation with her, right?
No, I probably wouldn't. No, I don't think that would be quite possible. But, you know, here's somebody in the entertainment business who was supposed to be here at Red Rocks, best venue for bands anywhere in the world, and cancels out after it had been sold out for months because her little equipment wouldn't fit on the stage, and whiny brat pouty duh. You know, those kids, whether you like her or not, they paid good money for those tickets.
Right.
And have that canceled out, and just, you know, a real true musician, somebody Metallica, would roll out.
Went on with bare minimum.
Exactly. And they would have said,
right.
Here I am, I don't have my stage show, but I'm going to give you everything I got. And now she whined and bailed from it. So
that's exactly right. If I had her in a dark alley, she'd be sucking on Mr. Happy. I'll tell you that right now. You can beat the crap out of her, and then I'll put her mouth over her, and we'll... But don't do it while she's on there.
No.
I don't want it lopped off like Bobbin. Mike, just... Men, quit honking your goddamn car horns at women.
Yeah. I'll go for her.
Yeah. In case you couldn't figure this out for yourself, a woman, after being honked at, isn't going to tear off all her clothes, jump in the passenger side of your 91 Metro, and start slobbing on your blowpipe, okay? Keep your eyes on the road. And as for the guys who, over the years, honked at me thinking I was female from behind, I won't tell anybody that you still live at home and that you masturbate on your mom's soiled tampons.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to the show. Hockey itself, it's the only sport with penalties like fighting, slashing, roughing, cross-checking, and hooking.
Yes.
Or, in layman's terms, a routine trip to Walmart. The referees will actually stand back during a fight and let the hockey players beat the living shit out of each other. This is so cool. Paranoid all you want. But by the time I have kids, God forbid, God only knows what trick-or-treating will be like. I can see it now.
And you can dress up like that.
Yeah, you could dress up like me. I get killed for sure. The first house we'll hit will be Mr. Chips, the 60-year-old man who exhibits colorful expletives for every situation. He opens the door as his one-eyed chinchilla peeks out the little piss flap on his boxers.
Oh, my God.
And we're off. As Mr. Chips decides what unwrapped bite-sized candy bar to give away, we'll hear faint screams coming from his basement. Help me! I'm down here! For God's sake, help me!
I'm falling, I can't get up.
As the old man drops something into my child's sack, he screams out, "Put the lotion in the basket!" before slamming the door in our face. The second house on the block we'll visit, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, the churchgoers who've been married for 10 years and who have the God Bless Thou doormat perfectly centered as you enter the house. As my cute little daughter, Shaniqua Popricha, rings the bell. My girlfriend's like, yeah, Shaniqua my ass. Diane Johnson answers the door in full leather with a whip in her hand and a barbed wire bra. As candle wax and semen drip from her nipples and onto my daughter's plastic Wonder Woman mask, Mrs. Johnson comments about the cute little trick-or-treater. As she reaches over to her right to retrieve the bowl of candy, into the room crawls Mr. Johnson, handcuffed on all fours with a spiked dog collar around his neck and a saddle on his back. I think that's Mr. Johnson. After all, I can't tell, as the leather mask with the zipper for a mouth conceals his identity like some WWF freak. I thought that would go over a lot better than that one did. Yeah, you got kids shooting kids at school. That 6-year-old kid in Michigan a couple months ago killed that little girl on the playground. His dad was like a jailbird. His mom was like a hooker or something. I don't know the whole story. But, I mean, it's
And the gun was stolen.
Yeah, it was stolen out of a crack house. This little kid slept on a mattress in a crack house with guns and drugs. 6 years old. You know, when I was 6 years old, I was playing with cat shit in the sandbox. Now it's... What'd she say? I still do? Is that what you said?
And it kind of stopped before the show, didn't
Yeah, No, that was lunch. But, yeah, 6 years old, he's, you know, bringing guns to school.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you.
My tolerance for panhandlers is about as short as Haley Joel Osment's Johnson when he gets out of the bathtub. And actually, I have 3 for this one. Up next is Mary with your fitness and nutrition report. Or, here we see Michael Floorwax hard at work. Or, Nina Blackwood is now employed at 96.5 The Peak. 80s. Oh, Willie B did find love at the 5280 singles party. I would love to hear Pat Sajak tell a contestant just once, "No, there's no fucking tea, ass face." Yeah. Got her in trouble. Fusaichi Pegasus won this year's Kentucky Derby, for those who don't know. It's a horse. Does anybody know who came in last place at this year's Kentucky Derby? Dog food. Graham Hill is the horse's name that came in last place. Dana, the camera girl, got a good one there. Actually, we're very privileged tonight. We actually have Graham Hall here. The horse that came in, I know. The horse that came in last place, the Kentucky Derby, is here. You want to see him? Yeah. Here he is. He's a little quiet tonight, a little bashful, but here's Graham Hall. I think it's pretty safe to say if you've seen one daytime talk show, you've pretty much seen them all. In one of the reinforced chairs sits Claire, the white trash mobile home rhino who's 200 pounds overweight but loves to strip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And who turned my mic off? And just our luck, she wore her white barbecue sauce stained bra and rubber miniskirt that shows more crack than cops in Albuquerque when she bends over. I want to see athletes who hold out because $10 million a year isn't enough get their greedy ass kicked out of sports, never to return. Yeah.
The games after the games and
Rich was telling me that he tried to get Jeff Cirillo to come on your show, and then he said what? He wants $1,000 for 20 minutes. Is that who that was?
You got him mixed up.
Who was that?
Dave Logan.
Dave Logan wants $1,000? You gotta be shitting me. Dave Logan wants $1,000 for 20 minutes? Hey Dave, F yourself. $1,000. Dave Logan? Who the hell is Dave Logan?
When I got here, I didn't know. So.
Who is he? Is he like the backup catcher or what?
He used to play for the Browns and the Broncos or something, didn't he? Yeah. $1,000 for 20 minutes. $1,000 this, you prick.
And that's another reason why baseball's not going anywhere. They have terrible PR. They're doing it to themselves. They're kicking their own ass.
Sorry, Jeff Cirillo. Coloradoans in November will vote to pass a law that it's acceptable to burn virgin pussy rich boys to please the gods. want to. I am going to bring these guys up. Look at this. There is a story that I'm gonna stick up for every one of these guys who get gawked at and who women hate these women because they look good. There's a story behind this. Get a shot of these guys. I'm gonna stick up for every woman that looks like what you see up here tonight. All right? All right. Yeah. Thank you. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God got my letter. Okay. Are we okay? The reason I brought the women up unexpectedly. Other than you rule. That's right. The night we went to Lodo, I witnessed with my own eyes women passing us on the 16th Street Mall. As they passed, they looked over at AJ and then rolled their eyes in disgust. Some of these bitter, yuppie skanks even made derogatory comments after they had passed. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen. If looks could kill, AJ would be dead about 50 times over. And no, 50 times is not an exaggeration. Note to these jealous, pathetic bitches. Rather than rolling your eyes at somebody who you wish you could look like, try putting the fork down and climbing your bulbous princess ass on a Stairmaster for an hour a day. Women jealous of other women. Get a grip. I don't know why I can't keep a boyfriend. Look up self-esteem in the dictionary. Hookers. I'm guessing these resentful, chubby hoes are praying to God every night that as they go to bed looking like a bloated Kathy Bates on her period, they're hoping to wake up looking like Britney Spears. Well, keep praying, losers. I can't read tonight either. I'm turned into a retard. There's work available everywhere, from shoveling shit to fast food. If you feel sorry for bums, if you feel sorry for bums, let them crash on your couch, eat all your food, and play with your daughters. Yeah, I didn't think so. If we all took a stand,
offering temptation to their brainwashed minds, offering their nightmares to the shape inside, learning all your lessons. You once despised. You believe in a pack of useless lies. Pack of useless lies. Then you turn around and find the edge of dawn, going home into the edge of dawn. Follow me up to the edge of dawn, going home. Everybody clap your hands! Wash away your fears. Your life has been forsaken. Raindrops falling tears. Say you'll never leave me. Say you'll always stay. Just too tired, baby, to make it one more day. Say you'll stay with me. Then you turn around and find the edge of dawn, going home into the edge of dawn. Follow me up to the edge of dawn, going home. Then you turn around and find the edge of dawn by yourself, but you're not alone. Follow me up to the edge of dawn. Home, home, yeah! Thank you very much. Thank you.
Since I live here in Denver, Colorado, I never hear anything about the Broncos. Yeah, right. Welcome to the 5 o'clock news. Our main story tonight, Terrell Davis has a hangnail and is questionable to play tomorrow against the Patriots. Eddie McCaffrey ran out of deodorant and has decided to switch to a roll-on rather than a spray. In other news, at the state capitol, Mayor Wellington Webb is being held hostage with a gun to his head. That's a shame. I hope Sherelle plays tomorrow. I want to watch commercials on television where a little baby isn't swimming around in douche water to sell the product. The only thing I can remember Carlos Santana for from the past year was when this palooka claimed that the Virgin of Guadalupe spoke to him in a Danish or something. Remember that? He said that the ghost told him after he started to cry, quote, Calm down, breathe. I'm very proud and happy with you, end quote. Santana also said in the same press conference, quote, marijuana is not a drug, end quote. Note to Carlos, dude, you're an incredible musician, possibly one of the greatest guitar players since Hendrix. Quit smoking dank and quit carrying on conversations with your food. You're freaking me out. I was actually ready for trick-or-treaters this year, but nobody rang my buzzer. Thank you for your concern. I actually was ready for trick-or-treaters this year. As you can see, I was all ready to roll. As you can see, I had, yeah. See, I was all ready for the little kids, you know. Hey, they're chocolate. What do you want from me? But here's some extra real stuff for candy. Over here. All right. Anyway, I cringe every time I witness 15 and 16-year-old kids at this event as they peruse through the crowd looking for members of the opposite sex. I just know these little peckerwoods are too stupid to use any type of birth control. And at next year's Taste of Colorado, the girls will be pushing their little screaming rugrats around in a stroller as the illiterate sperm donor is nowhere to be found. Speaking of rioting, what? No burning trash cans chucked through Lodo windows after Patrick Waugh broke Terry Sawchuk's record for most wins by a goalie? What's the matter, Denver? Was it a school night for you? Were the planets off balance just enough to leave the riot trigger alone in the brain? You know, that was the real reason Patrick Waugh started hucking bedroom doors at his wife. He wanted a little anarchy in his honor, and if Denver fans weren't going to destroy property, Patrick Waugh. There's a new version of Slapshot.
So let's get back to the restaurant. I used to work in a restaurant. I worked in a restaurant where there's 2 shifts, lunch to dinner. Everybody go home after lunch, come back for dinner. Now, I was one of the people that would always close down between the two, and there's always one manager there and me. And we had these big pots full of like sauce and the salads, and I tell you what, at any given time, and I never did it, with only one manager there, at any given time, I could have very easily went, oh, that porridge is too cold. Oh. So we've all I'm screwed, ain't I?
I just want to thank you for making this my last show.
It's a farewell show.
This is the farewell tour before I get run from the network.
But
new Rockies manager Buddy Bell casting his vote on how many games his team will win this year. Men, when you're talking to women, their faces are up here, not down here. Women, if you catch a guy who's carrying on a conversation with your cleavage as he drools all over himself like Christopher Reeves, stick a high heel in his eye socket. And since you have my permission, that's good enough. Bring the entire family out to see what the new polar bear is doing at the Denver Zoo. There we go. My favorites are the bozos at sporting events who manage to get their $5 an hour pie hole on camera. As Dante Bichette is trying to bat, we see him in the background waving to the camera with his cell phone sticking to his skull. Look, Ma, I'm on your TV. Pretty disturbing that grossed me out while walking through these Cinco de Mayo festivities. People with hickeys the size of silver dollars plastered all over their necks. What the hell kind of vacuum cleaner ritual is this? Yeah, nothing like a blood clot to tell someone how you really feel about them. You know, a Hallmark card can do the same thing. I walked by a woman who was, I'd say, in her 50s. I had to do a double take as I saw a giant hickey on her jugular. At that point in time, I didn't even want to know what was down there. But I'm guessing it's not pretty and it smells like salmon left out in the sun. Sports Center has become nothing but guys who resemble used car salesmen and who want to be the next Keith Olberstump to be hired by the higher sports affiliate, even though they have personalities of soiled diapers and their reports consist of nothing but unfunny jokes and even unfunnier catchphrases. I'm guessing they're praying to God at night for the opportunity to be like their dipshit colleague Dan Patrick and do some stupid-ass Coors commercials. What I want to know, since when did sports reporting become open mic night at the Improv? Note to ESPN Sports Center anchors, do me a favor, just play the damn clip and read what's on your teleprompter and save the comedy for those who are comedians, okay? That goes especially for you, Kenny Mayne. Look up unfunny dill hole in the dictionary and you'll find a picture of Kenny Mayne and his Dennis the Menace pie hole. I've watched turds circling the toilet bowl that are funnier than this putz. Kenneth sits with his blank stare as he slips in one-liners while talking about the day in sports. As the highlight clip shows Dikembe Mutombo slam dunking a basketball, Kenny Mayne and his styrofoam sense of humor runs with, quote, "He can slam dunk because he's tall." I wonder if this shit for brains is this stupid at home, too. The paint on the wall is white. Here's another classic little one-liner that I've actually heard Kenny Mayne ramble. The cameras panned around to show a baseball crowd of about 9,000 people cheering. This comic genius ran with, quote, "After the game, the crowd was gay." No, Joker, you're gay. Another useless Sports Center slug, Stuart Scott. Here again is another untalented parasite who thinks sports needs to be humorous. Besides being unfunny, Stuart Scott breaks out with what he learned that day from his Learn Ebonics in Your Free Time cassette tapes. Quote, "Yo, dog, Big Mac's the bomb. He's getting his swerve on by slamming 30 fat jacks." Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? The most annoying thing that flies out of Stuart Scott's pie hole, and it's said every show, as some baseball player makes a catch in the outfield, quote, "Booyah, he's got his PhD, playa hater degree." I swear to God, I need a translator to fill me in on what the hell this jackass is saying. Excuse me, Stuart, can you mix in a little English? I don't speak jive. Zing. I think if Stuart Scott and Kenny Mayne ever hosted Sports Center at the same time, that could beat out Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire as the worst show ever to hit the boob tube. No pun intended.
Go right through the portal, so they never told. We can feel in the details, it'll never go on. When I see you strutting, lose control. So we'll cut through the mystery, chase tails, maybe drop some LSD. Chase trails, chase trails. When I see you tripping, I won't let you fly. Away, the sky shooting. Away, swirl to land. Kill reaction, sort of splendid satisfaction. Kisses so on for secrets, some kind of twisted and bold. Just to feel you floating, surges through my soul. So we'll cut through the mystery, chase tails, maybe drop some LSD. Chase trails. When I see you tripping, I won't let you blind. Away, start shooting. Away, walk through land. Away, away, no distraction, mesmerizing, urgent action. This is keeping a secret, oh, nothing too scared to try. Just because we're tripping, I won't let you fly. Away, start shooting. Away, walk through land.
My quote of the week. Michael Floorwax was talking about the dork from Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire, Rick Rockwell. I guess Rick is some like stand-up comedian in his off time. Floorwax went on to call Rockwell, quote, an unfunny comic. Boy, there's the pot and the kettle there. Watching people at baseball games is a gold mine of material for me. Watching drunks in 100-degree heat spilling beer all over themselves. Watching the sweat hog eating her pretzel that's swimming in cheese as the cheese drips off her chin like a porn star performing fellatio is real appetizing. By the way, did anybody get that license plate number on the truck that repeatedly creamed Drew Barrymore? Boy, she hit the ugly wall and hit every brick on the way down. And she's one of Charlie's angels, huh? Which one? The rode hard, put away wet angel that fell out the back of the brutal truck doing 80? Ralph Nader for president. Yeah, right. On election night, as of 9:30 Denver time, Ralph Nader collected 2% of the vote. That was 2% more than I had, and I was sitting on the couch picking popcorn kernels out of my teeth. Nice job, Ralphie. Way to waste everybody's time. I haven't seen anybody get their ass kicked that bad since Woody Harrelson's drug zone scene in Natural Born Killers. Columbine high school students and staff held a garage sale this week.
You know, I'm gonna beat you. You are cruising. I actually do know Tai Chi, and
She can kick my ass.
I'm wearing heels too.
I wouldn't do that in front of me, I will throw you down right here and do you, I swear to God.
All right, so let's take away the G rating from this show.
I was going to tone it down, but you know what?
Go see Mom.
What'd she say, Mom? You have to be my translator.
She said she wanted to go see Mommy.
You wanted to go see Mommy. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Since you came on... No?
Sorry.
I will let you have this, okay? Are you still with me? You can have that.
Is that you?
That is me.
Are you
It is.
Are you walking? He was walking.
Am I walking? Kind of. Actually, I should probably get this up. I don't want to miss a word that comes out of your mouth. But here, I'll let you have this. You could take that with you as a gift. Goodbye. Richard Dawson was known for kissing each female contestant. Louis Anderson raids their purses for pastries. Hey, Louis, survey says throw in a sit-up between meals. If this dude gets any bigger, you'll be able to slap the top 4 answers on his ass. Moving right along. Can anybody explain to me what the hell this means? I'm guessing Grandpa's nutsack must really like the fingers, huh? As for New Year's Eve 2000 entering 2001, the only problem I have is downtown Denver Lodo bars charging $25 cover just because it's New Year's Eve. Folks, I've got news for you. Shit is shit no matter what day it is. Besides, what's DJ Puffy gonna do differently than any other Sunday night? Will he actually break out the 20-minute-long techno Trent Reznor remix version of that annoying, overplayed, antiquated, no talent, Who Let the Dogs Out anthem? Yeah. You don't have a chair? Here, right here. I'm an all-purpose host.
Now we know why you want her up there.
Yeah. This is a tool. Give me a break. All right. Anything you want to say?
Help me! Get me off the stage!
You want to get on?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
She's new, you guys. She's new.
I'm sporting wood as we speak. She is
Very.
cute, isn't she? I do have it now, baby. Can you feel that? Can you feel that poke in your leg? That's me. No, no!
She forgot her whip. I forgot my whip.
Oh.
I've been having to use my hand.
I couldn't even tell you what I would do to this right here. It was, all right. What's the? What else were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, we were talking about your rack yesterday.
Okay.
That is a great looking rack.
Well, thank you.
I'm talking to Michael. Okay,
I'll play along with
I'm
you.
off my soapbox.
Okay.
Now, there's a nice shot of your ring.
Mm-hmm. Was that what the shot was of?
That or somebody's horny out there. We got a horny cameraman. I'm sure she'll show you your crotch. All you gotta do is ask. Oh, he's going back.
Shane, behave yourself.
Shane from Peace, Love, and Destruction working cameras tonight. Give it up. Yeah. Dude's my brother, man.
Yeah.
I loved watching 300-pound CJ whimpering like a 2-year-old. I don't know how this could have happened. Let me take a stab at it. You shot juice into your body to give yourself an edge, and when the Olympic Committee told you to wee-wee into the little plastic Dixie, you got busted. Does that clear it up for you? Now, shot put yourself into the divot you created. I never want to hear your name ever again. As for Marion Jones, she started signing commercial endorsement contracts before the Olympics had even ended. I can only guess that CJ ran out of roids, and with Marion's Gatorade money, he could gravy train a quick fix before his body Lyle Alzado'd itself and he blew away in the wind like a dried up cat turd.
Tired 40. How can I do this? That's what I'm going to do. I have a new game plan now.
It's sickening how people really try. They just don't hold their own.
I'm going to have my own kid.
Hold their own. We all play the victim. We're taught to play the victim.
Yeah, I'm going to have my own kid. So I'm going to have my own kid. I'm going to send him to school with like bullseyes on his shirt. I'm going to have him wear a cowbell. So when the fellow students goes crazy with the guns, my kid will have a cowbell on a bullseye on his shirt. By 40, I'm going to be retired. Boom!
He's got a bumper sticker on a car that says, "My kid goes to such and such school. He's the one with the bullseye shirt. Please take him out."
I get disappointed. I'm going to be disappointed too. I'm going to come home. I'm going to be disappointed. Like, hey, the emergency room didn't call. I was getting concerned. You know, didn't you call that one kid a faggot shit eater? That carries a knife with him. People are looking at it as a way to retire. It's so sad.
And nobody takes responsibility for their actions anyway. You know that? It's somebody else's fault.
I agree. Those two kids that did this, I mean, as soon as those two kids killed themselves, they were geniuses because they knew that all of us would be stirring up the minutia. And it's working.
About geniuses, but they definitely thought out their plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. No one to point the, you know, who can I point the finger at? It's so funny.
Oh my God, here you see a Nike employee enjoying a cup of joe after her employer just announced that she is now allowed 1 5-minute break during every 22-hour shift and that her pay has been raised to 18 cents an hour. Yeah! That kid is sick. Thanks, Rob, for sending that one in. Moving right along. Hi, I'm Bill. I'll be your waiter this evening. I've got 2 for this one. Stress has finally caught up with Elian Gonzalez. Or, hi, I'm Janet Reno. If you want a comb, show me your green card, you little bastard. According to several movie polls, have you heard about this? Several movie polls said that Wild Wild West was voted the worst film of 1999. Will Smith as James West. That's interesting. What are we going to have next? Nell Carter as Wonder Woman?
I want to have sex with a midget. That'd be fun.
You know it'd be fun to have sex with a deaf person. Can you imagine? That'd be funny.
I'm coming.
Oh, you're a whore.
I can't hear you. There once was a woman who was almost 30. She didn't protect herself because she was dirty. She had so many kids she didn't know what to do. Her body was so destroyed, her uterus fell out every time she made number 2. Huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Los Angeles Lakers are paying Shaquille O'Neal $29 million a season. Whew. One of the greatest quotes that flew out of Shaq's dummy hole came during a playoff game. He said, quote, "We will win tomorrow, period. P-E-R-I-D. $29 million a year for an illiterate goof who can't spell basketball, let alone shoot one from more than 10 feet away. And he can only make 40% of his free throws. Actually, we need to keep Shaq on the basketball floor and off of movie sets because Kazam resembled the liquid that flew out of my butt after a bad Thai meal. The only exception, I had reoccurring stomach pains after Kazam. New from the lesbian microbrewery. Lick a lot of puss ale. Who booed? Alan, was that you? Don't make me come out there. Amy Van Dyken. I always pictured her as a bulldog, but when I heard that she lowered herself to spitting into her competitors' lanes, that confirmed my premonition. Boy, Amy, that's real feminine. If you're hawking snot at the Olympics, I'd hate to see what you do at a public pool. I guess golden showering little kids who approach you for an autograph isn't too far-fetched. Somebody just threw up in the back. Thank you. Maybe in 4 years, you can drop last night's dinner log in Russia's lane, or fling your plug into China's lane during the heaviest day of your menstrual cycle. God, Van Dyke, I know you're bitter being engaged to a punter, but come on. What do you do when Tom doesn't want to help you with the dishes? Let me guess. Tell me how close I am. You both wait until you're in bed. You scratch his back lightly with your nails until he starts to drift off. Every so often, you give him a little peck on his neck to let him know you're there. As soon as you hear that first heavy snore, that's when you let out that huge rhino fart and pull the covers over his head. Baseball. John Rocker. Everybody's favorite racist. John Rocker should spell his name R-O-C-K-K-K-E-R. Quote, yeah, I'm a redneck, but I ain't no racist. I think that's what he said. After all, I couldn't understand him as his hood muffled his voice. And finally, as far as Colorado, Amendment 20, the medical marijuana law passed. I can see we're already token. Okay. Call me Kreskin, but I think we're suddenly going to see more and more sick people in this state. The line to the pharmacy will look like a Pantera crowd filing into Red Rocks. The law could get overturned the first time we hear on the news that 17-year-old Johnny stomped on Grandma like a winemaker at the Robert Mondavi Vineyards because Grandma wouldn't share her doobies. To show you a sign that the world is being overrun by morons, a fact that I found that's almost as painful as Jeff Foxworthy is a millionaire. All right, we got Foxworthy in the house tonight. Domestic violence increases when the Broncos lose. It's not true? Every time the Raiders score, blood-curdling screams protrude from houses as the open palm makes contact with the unsuspected cheek because the wife walked in front of the TV without an open can of Schlitz in her hand for her man. Correct me if I'm wrong, cretins, but it's just a friggin' game.
If I see one more person at an off-ramp with a cardboard sign, a Corona cardboard sign bearing in mind, that says, hungry, we'll work for food, God bless. I don't care.
That kills me. God bless.
They're still pumping the Bible and they're sitting there pumping on that. That must be a pretty good job.
What I can't understand is, how in the hell can you weather all the elements, winter, spring, summer, and fall, 8 to 10 hours a day, some of them up to 12 hours a day, standing in the same freaking spot, asking and begging for money, and every place is hiring. If you're hungry and you need money, get a job, go to Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, you can work, make money, and get fed.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. I'm guessing that kissing Bob Barker is like putting your lips on an old baseball glove. while they show the prize that Mary has a chance to win, off camera, she's spitting out Bob Barker's skin flakes. Inevitably, with every toss to first, some dipshit in the stands yells, "Balk! Balk! Balk!" Shut your... Shut your pie hole and lay your egg already, chicken dick. You don't know what the hell a balk is. Not you, sir. See a chair flying up there in a second.
On the problem, too, I mean, you have a lot of sportscasters that they crucify Bobby Knight when these same sportscasters, or they crucify John Rocker, and these same sportscasters will sit in a bar and they'll tell all the racial jokes.
Right.
They're on the road, they'll go screw around on their wife.
Right.
They do everything that these guys do, only they're grilling these
Frank
poor
Gifford.
guys. Yeah, Frank Gifford banging the fat chick. I mean,
Oh, is that a...
yeah,
is that a... Oh.
It's great.
I have a feeling he had to roll her in flour to find the wet spot first, is what I think happened there. Nice job, Frankie. Dude, if you're going to cheat on your wife, I mean, I know Kathy Lee is like an annoying abortion, but dude, if you're going to cheat on your wife, at least go after like some porn chick or something. Why are you hosing this 400-pound orca? You know what I'm saying?
Ask Clinton. He could have anything he wants, and he takes the
Another
big one.
Clinton, dude, if you're going to cheat on Hillary, not like I don't blame you, but dude, Monica Lewinsky is a condo on legs. Come on, dude. Get some tape. Hang with me for a night. I'll have you banging strippers and models, I'm telling you. Not trailer park crack hose. Come on, dudes. You know.
We'll be right back.
How many, I wonder how many of these dorks told each other before they left the house, quote, "We'll go find some hot chicks and get laid tonight." Yeah. Yeah. In other words, get the KY porn and tissues ready, because because I'm guessing that alcohol-induced testosterone load won't find its way onto any part of a female's body. And just for the record, the only pussies you guys will see are your friends as they head back to their cars at 2 o'clock in the morning with that rejected look on their faces. Again. Here we see Lyle and Eric Menendez's little brother Tito, who shot his 3-year-old neighbor in a game of tag.
Thank you.
I got the way back in to New Orleans.
something there in the shadow down the hall. Oh, you were a vampire and now I'm nothing at all. Oh, you were a vampire, now I'm nothing at all. I got the ways and means, New Orleans, I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. Got a lot to think about. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, used to dance in the garden in the middle of the night. They used to dance in the garden in the middle of the night. Oh, you were a vampire, I may never see the light. Oh, you were a vampire and I may never see the light. I got the ways and means, New Orleans, I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. Got a lot to think about. I got the ways and means, New Orleans, I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. I got a lot to think about. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
Okay. Honey, let me guess. You had Chinese for lunch. Jesus God.
Tough crowd.
It's a tough crowd. Christ.
What the hell is that?
Somebody got it? All right. That's terrible. Well, let me try it again. Let me try this again. I don't think people saw this right. I don't think people saw that right. Honey, let me guess. You had Chinese for lunch. And it still sucks. What the hell is that? It fell down? That's okay. All right. We're going to give out some of those pamphlets, so maybe after the show or something. Whoever wants to come up and grab a pamphlet, get to see Stephanie's goodies.
Don't pay too close attention to the spelling in there. They had a really bad editor on that magazine.
Well, you know what he was doing? He was masturbating while he was doing the magazine. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's common sense. It's 2 and 2 together. You know?
That was
come
bad.
On. But, so we have any other questions for Stephanie Glenn? I once ordered a burger that had so much ketchup on it, it looked like a Kotex during day 2. I actually reached the point where I started looking for the little string. I want people who sit next to me in movie theaters who smell like a combination of body odor, piss, pot, cigarettes, and booze to be taken to the nearest car wash and scoured like an elephant at the circus.
Anytime there's a dead body now in the 90s and the 2000s, guess what? There's always a lawsuit to follow. A perfect example of that is Isaiah Shoals' father. I don't know his name. I call him Sir Mix-a-Lot Shoals. He looks like him.
I actually went on the air. I did a radio interview for Mike Rosen, and I called Shoals' father. I called him the poor imitation of Don King.
Ooh. But what amazes me about this guy is he went gambling. They caught him gambling 1 week after he buried his kid. I don't know about you guys, but if my kid would have been killed in one of the top 20 worst massacres in this country's history, the last thing I'd be thinking about is, I wonder if Jazz Alley still has that prime rib special. You know? Amazing Grace, I wonder if Ali Capri still has that dollar slot progressive high. Ooh. And the girl that got shot, he asked her, "Do you believe in God?" She said, "Yes." This is one of the bravest human beings probably in the history of anything. And people come out now they're questioning that. Well, she didn't say that. My daughter said that. Why can't we let her die with this? What's so bad about that? I have all the respect in the world for this girl. And I'm thinking, you know what else she should have said besides that? She said, "Hey, listen, before you smoke me, do me a favor. Whatever you do it for these people that are going to live through this. If you haven't already, don't smoke the Shoals kid, because if you do, his greedy pudwhacker of a father is going to try and sue for millions to support his cheesy flea market jewelry / gambling addictions."
Yes! That is awesome! That is the coolest shit I've ever heard.
And there's a ram.
The second person who needs to shut their hole and disappear from my TV and newspapers, Lisa McCaffrey. I am so tired of reading about Lisa McCaffrey every day during the football season. You have no idea. Go away, Lisa McCaffrey. And just for the record, if Ed wasn't your hubby, you'd be at the Village Inn at 2 o'clock in the morning serving burgers to drunk nightclub baboons who think they still have a shot at getting laid for the night, and you're on deck. Lisa McCaffrey is about as useless as Double D tits on Fran Drescher. She takes up oxygen and contributes nothing except on how to be a gravy training, conceited, gold-digging media slut. It finally dawned on me why Ed McCaffrey continues to catch passes over the middle of the field. He's hoping for that one coma-crushing blow so he doesn't have to hear anymore how hot his wife thinks she is. I could be wrong. Speaking of the dead, how many of you in the studio audience knew that Jim Varney was now worm food? You did? Yeah. Oh. 1 out of 50. That's not bad. When did that talented actor croak? Does this mean his new movie will be called Ernest Has Night Crawlers Squirming Through His Eye Hole? The Colorado Rockies do some stretching before their spring training game against the Seattle Mariners. And we'll just skip right to the end. And finally, okay, class, is this crack vial half full, a third full, or a fourth full? Yeah, I'm down.
The connection.
My quote of the week, are you guys ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
My quote of the week comes from a gay rights supporter, Stephen Bonnet from Denver, okay? Stephen and his partner, David, were out protesting the Dr. Laura show, okay?
Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right. This is cable TV.
I hate her.
Nazi.
Sorry.
Stephen told reporters, quote, "I don't like what she says about gays being pedophiles and that children should be kept away. My son is going to be hurt by it." Yeah, I'm sure your son will look at you swallowing a meat sword as normal, okay?
Holy crap.
Hey, Commissioner Seelig, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being unbelievably unwatchable, how are the Colorado Rockies going to do this baseball season? And finally, I've heard of getting screwed over by your coach before, but this is ridiculous.
I went with my ex-girlfriend to the abortion clinic. I knew that, and I knew there'd be a bunch of protesters out there. I guess it's one on 20th and Vine. There's always a bunch of protesters out there. So I brought a gag with me because I knew that they'd be out there. So we went inside. We sat there for a while. And they're like, "Boo! Boo on you! You're killing the child!" And so we went and we sat there for like 15 minutes. And we walked back out. And they're like, "Boo!" I'm like, "Hey guys, we decided we're going to keep it." And they're like, "Yay!" And I took out this little bottle of like sauce and like a piece of shrimp on it. It's like water, a piece of shrimp in there. I'm like, "See, we decided to keep it." His name is Johnny. Say hello, Johnny. So when I woke up out of the coma.
And if you go out partying, ladies and gentlemen, on December 31st, do me a favor. If at 2 o'clock in the morning you have any type of the following signs: slurred speech, vomit dripping from your Happy New Year blow toy, you can't walk 5 feet without falling down, if you fall asleep in mid-sentence, or if you have whiz running down your leg, for Christ's sake, give your keys. Give your keys to the nightclub doorman or the party host. Yeah. I don't want to be one of the 10 sober people on the road to get swiped by the party goer who's over double the legal limit. If you can remember that simple request, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. In case you couldn't tell, I'm so goddamn sick of cell phones you have no idea. I'm tired of watching unimportant clones hitting the end button to talk, the people who talk so loud just to look cool that they don't need a phone at all, and those annoying Mary Had a Little Lamb ringer selections. Jesus H. Christ, enough already. What's with high school kids carrying phones? What does a 10th grader need a cell phone for? Oh yeah, planning his shooting and his drug deals. I forgot.
This is a patent, okay?
All right.
This is a head massage.
Oh.
So it's gonna knock you out. I want to turn. Boom.
Endorsed by Mike Tyson. And Haley Joel Osmond. This is going to be graphic, to warn you now. Is it me, or does anybody else have the urge to bitch slap this little 11-year-old bastard? I haven't had the urge to kick the crap out of a little kid this bad since Criss Cross. Enjoy your 15 minutes there, Haley, because in 10 years, after drug rehab, and after you're caught playing with your pee-pee in the porn theater, the only thing dead you'll see is your bank account after your parents' Macaulay Culkin, your prim and proper ass? Christ, how long is this fucking monologue? Now the mother sits in shock to find out that her 1-900-teen slut has had more dicks inside her than a gay nudist colony hot tub. But the only difference, a network of crabs aren't living in the hot tub. Thank you very much. This summer, penis haircuts are back in style. We got one? I'm sorry, man. It had to be said. He'll be waiting for me after the show. I'll show you penis haircut, you son of a bitch. Come on, honey, Cinco de Mayo has already started. I don't want to get sent to the principal's office. I want to know more about this rabbit.
I knew you would. You should know about one of those.
I do.
With the 2 ears pointing up, okay?
Is that what? It has ears on it? Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, they actually come like. You want me to show you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, you've got the one piece.
Uh-huh.
And then the little rabbit that comes up like this, and the ears go. Nyeh.
Ooh. So it takes care of all of your intimate areas at once?
Exactly. It's multifaceted.
Oh, man. And how much would a rabbit go for?
$59.99 or something like that.
plus batteries and plus tax. So
yes. And some of us go through batteries faster than others. So
that is so wrong. God damn it, that is so wrong.
We can get the Tim Taylor.
George W. Bush is ready to begin his presidency.
I love it. Make fun of Bush more.
Make fun of Bush more?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have anything else in here from Bush? Yes, I do. I have one here coming up in a little bit. AJ, close your ears. Okay. Guy Ritchie's new movie, Snatch, opens in theaters on January 19th. When asked what inspired the title, Ritchie responded, quote, "My first month being married to Madonna."
Make fun of Madonna more.
Maybe. And finally, here we see Michelle Waugh in training for when she has to tell Patrick that her mom is staying the weekend.
I'm nervous, so.
It's okay. I'm up here, man. We're ragged.
All right.
Nobody's out here. It's just me and you. Yeah, shit it is. Sorry, there's nothing to be nervous about.
Sure.
Okay. Somebody show me your tits. Get them all loosened up. There you go. There's one. Excellent. I think I'm going to vomit.
Grapes.
There you go. Dude, that's not exactly what I had in mind. But did you see that rack on him?
Oh, yeah, very nice. Must be seedless.
It is seedless. You're right. That's a good one, man. I got to write that one down, too. If I read your headline on the air, I will send you a T-shirt that looks like this.
Is he going to avoid deportation by saying that? Like the Rockies pitcher? Never mind.
This headline was sent in. Bob from Denver, big Cone Zone guy. Bob, 3 weeks in a row, making it through. He says, for this headline, excited Bronco fans gathered by linebacker John Mobley's car at training camp hoping for an autograph. Bob from Denver, you rule. Hockey should consist of bloody brawls, players taking their skates off and trying to stab their opponents with it, and guys with scarred faces and missing teeth. In other words, hockey should be like a family reunion in Kentucky. But without the necking behind the tool shed. And finally, I've got 2 for this one. Oh no, Lorena Bobbitt is at it again. Or, the centerpiece has arrived for this year's lesbian conference in San Francisco.
Wait, hold on.
Folks, enjoy baseball now, because in 10 years, the national pastime will be as cold and dead as Chris Farley.
I'm one of the old-fashioned people. I still think that if I found the right girl, I could make it work. Sandra Bullock. And
Christina Aguilera.
oh, can you imagine?
No. Sandra Bullock on your schlong. No, I can't imagine.
Me either.
That's erection problems.
That's the thought comes in, my friend. You're Sandra Bullock. You're Sandra Bullock. No, you're not. You're Cotton. You're a tube sock. This sucks. What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, actually, I was gonna bring some other people up, but
good.
this
Well,
is great. No, that's it. We're out of time.
everybody.
We're out of time.
Well, that's good.
Voluntarily, more or less,
They're just
as
standing
opposed to
there.
them soliciting.
You can't really tell them they can't stand there. If they're not being aggressive, just don't look at them, you know?
Right.
Most of them will just stand there. How embarrassing is that? You know, you're sitting there at a four-way or you're on on-ramp, and that's your life. I mean, you've pretty much said, fuck it, I'm a loser, give me your money. You know what? You have no shame. There's no shame there at all.
Not the guy with the Lexus.
Well, he's beyond it. He's all, you know, he has no scruples at all. Watch me drive away in my car.
We used to know a guy that...
Whatever you do, please do not videotape yourselves having sex. The thought of 2 grizzly bears getting it on is a disturbing thought. I think if I ever saw it because I accidentally punched up the wrong website, I would have to Kurt Cobain my skull all over my apartment walls. I think it's pretty safe to say that I can go my entire life without watching a hairy ass bouncing up and down while little balls of poop hang like tree ornaments on December 25th. Rather than giving the 26-year-old mother who's littered double-digit kids with double-digit dads and who spread more often than mayonnaise on a club sandwich her 15 minutes of television fame, let's yank out her tubes like dandelions in a flower patch. Thank you again.
No. First of all, let me talk about Arizona Diamondbacks.
Loaded.
The big unit, is that the worst name in professional sports or what? I mean, how do you get that name in the locker room and what the hell?
My girlfriend bought a big unit vibrator the other day.
Too much information, buddy.
I don't really have a girlfriend, so
So it's you?
It wasn't me.
My girlfriend.
No, I don't go to porn theaters. I just read the articles.
I think that division is going to come down. Sorry to get back to baseball if you want to continue.
Hey, I'll talk sex all night. I don't care.
I think that division will come down between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks.
I was disappointed. After my 30-minute search, I was unable to find the cockfighting pit. Then I remembered, oh yeah, I'll just take a trip up Federal Boulevard and see the same thing. Here we see 33-year-old Scott from Colorado Springs dressed as a Star Wars stormtrooper at this year's Losers Who Need a Life convention.
It's your camera girl.
What did she say?
I said anything Detroit sucks.
Anything in Detroit sucks.
Are they busy tonight?
done properly.
There goes the affiliate in Detroit,
Ooh,
huh? My final topic regarding the taste of Colorado are people who are wearing clothes that they shouldn't. As you can tell, I'm a fashion connoisseur.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Okay, maybe not. But some things I've noticed, as far as guys go, most guys couldn't pick out coordinating clothes if somebody held a gun to their head. That's a given. But I thought women would have a little more sense. I actually saw a woman with hair on her back wearing a backless shirt. It must have been a fashion statement because it matched her goatee. Thank you. Okay. Also, don't wear backless shirts if you have zits on your back. I don't want to connect the Whiteheads and form the constellation Orion, okay? Something else that disturbed me as we walked through the Taste of Colorado, this is going to be graphic too. Women who wore short shorts as their pubes ferned out the bottom. I kind of lose my appetite when I see crabs bungee jumping at the bottom of your shorts. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh. God. Oh. Oh, the visual on that one.
Nuggets. I support the Nuggets. I hope that they can get it together and do well. As a matter of fact, have a few guys, as a matter of fact, some of the guys I went to school with and hang around and stuff like that, they play for the Nuggets, and I just want to see them do well.
Was that a cell phone?
There's that phone again.
Was that a cell phone?
It's my pacemaker.
Shoot that phone.
It is a cell phone.
Hey, it's a Nokia.
Boy, do you believe that?
It's a Nokia, too.
Now, how incredible, what kind of karma is that? Goddamn cell phone just went off.
So when
In a nutshell, Lodo has become nothing but homely, drunk, pathetic guys who walk around with their arms flared out, exposing their tattoos, and who think they're God's gift to women, that will do and say anything for a chance in some moped woman's jungle coochie. You know what a moped woman is, right?
No, what's a moped woman?
They're cool until your friends see you on one. From the Where Are They Now file, the Nelson twins. Let me ask you this then. Do you think Dennis Rodman should be in the Hall of Fame?
Rodman's never done enough on the court to deserve it. He should be on the Hall of Fame for outside the court activity.
Yeah.
That guy's popped more chicks.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's banging anything that walks. I mean, you gotta love him. You gotta love him if you're a guy. I mean,
My kind of guy. The Colorado Rockies bullpen awaits their chance against the New York Mets. God, I hope so. U.S. gymnast Stephen McCain examines his boner that caused him to finish in 5th place. Is that okay? There you go. Damn it, I should have said not guilty. Not guilty! This one will get a call later also. Now you can play Klebold and Harris in the privacy of your own home.
Woods.
Huh?
Isn't it?
That's right out front. Yeah, I'm gonna get shot at later, huh?
Maybe.
Okay, Mr. Ramsey, for the 5th time, is your name John Ramsey? Jesus Christ. That was classic.
Do you have one for Dad?
The headline for that needs no explanation. Hi, I'm Bill, and I'm going through a pretty bad breakup right now. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's not just these two dipshits. Frivolous lawsuits happen every day. I'm here to say to all the sue-happy leeches out there, before you sue McDonald's for $20 million over the emotional distress from the drop of mustard that ran out the bottom of your burger and onto your shirt that your cerebral palsy Aunt Chloe gave you before she took her dirt nap, gather your senses, look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, God, I'm a friggin' idiot. Put down the phone to your lawyer, throw your garment in the washing machine. The last thing I want to see is your greedy pie hole on my TV and in the newspaper because you want to take the easy way out and don't want to go to work Monday morning. Here we go. Here we see a Denver woman on her way to the sperm bank to make another deposit.
That guy knows too much.
Oh, Mike, dude, that was sick.
He is
Anyway,
talented. He is talented.
I'm telling you, most talented human being on the planet.
He is. He is.
Mike from Cherry Wood.
I think.
Rule.
Hey.
Who is your favorite Bill? Clinton? Clinton? I'm nervous too. Your favorite Bill, Gates or Clinton?
Neither.
Neither?
Neither.
Are they, you just don't like either one of them?
They're both cocksuckers.
The Secret Service will be at my door later. Thank you. They're both cocksuckers. Excellent. Did you see Bill Gates' wife? Have you seen Bill Gates' wife?
No.
What a piece of ass.
Figures he's probably paid for it too.
Of course. Yeah, she loves him. She's with him for love.
Oh yeah. Give me $1 billion.
Yeah. Or I'm lumping it off in the middle of the night. Neither cocksucker. That's brilliant. That's the coolest thing I've heard all day. Describe. Bill Clinton's a cocksucker. That's beautiful. You kill me, man. You kill me. Describe your perfect woman.
Haven't met her yet.
You're on a roll, man. What do Coors Beer and Peter Coors' out and proud son Chip's dick have in common? They both taste like shit. Yeah, I know. At all of this year's high school proms, in order to find the wet spot, baking flour sales rose 60%. Okay, on that note, you want a cure for insomnia? Watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, with the shades down, of course. Oh yeah, Regis, you are the king of all talk show host dipshits, and that's my final answer. Corner on the same block, you notice a car sitting at a red light. As you walk toward it, you notice the driver talking on his cell phone. During his conversation, you watch as he digs wrist deep into his right nostril. Once he hits that crunchy piece of blood-laden snot, he pulls it out, looks at it, then sticks it in his mouth like it's curious 2-year-old. Sorry for the visual. Here we see Tracy Chapman getting some tunes together for her upcoming tour. Al Gore is ready for the presidency as he reaches out to feel a woman's rack to see if there's silicone or saline. Tracy Chapman getting ready for upcoming tour.
Okay.
Okay.
Now don't drop me, baby.
Hey, I'm not going to drop you.
This is the e-ticket.
Do we need
I think you bloodied my mouth.
I did. Okay, ready?
Go.
Nice view.
Oh.
No.
That's the headstand.
Yeah. Here we see Kathy Lee Gifford's employees taking 5 minutes to frolic in the water. I actually have 2 for this one. Keith Richards stopped for photographers on his way to an autograph session. Or Callista Flockhart returned for a new season of Ally McBeal.
Who's been sleeping with my faggot? I usually catch when you pitch. The blood stain in your underwear is the snitch. Let me smell your weenie to see if you've been digging a ditch. Who's the home wrecking sinner, Mr. Saints, who left that hickey on your taint? And who's been sleeping with my baggage? He's mine, not a nasty magnet. Who's been sleeping with my baggage? That's not my dick on his breath, goddamn it. I come home to crash, only to find a shit so gerbil in the trash. Why does he lie? Who's the other John? Who's been tossed my man's salad when I'm gone? Who's the home wrecking sinner, Mr. Saint, who left that hickey on your taint? And who's been sleeping with my bag? He's mine, not a nasty magnet. Who's been sleeping with my bag? That's not my dick on his breath, goddamn it. Does he wear a dress for you? Does he slip a shoe at the zoo? Does he swallow or just chew? Does he felt you when he's through? And who's been sleeping with my bag? Who's been sleeping with my bag? Who's been sleeping with my bag?
Julia Roberts makes $20 million a movie. I waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. If you've never seen a Julia Roberts movie, let me fill you in. Opening credits, Julia laughs with that hideous mouth. Julia cries. Julia falls in love. Julia cries. And a fucking movie. 20 million a flick, huh? Okay. Did you ever notice we never see Julia Roberts and Steven Tyler in the same room? Just it. Just for a goof, I'd like to see Julia Roberts and Steven Tyler kiss. I can only guess that will resemble two trout in the Colorado River sharing the same piece of food. With a show of hands, how many here have smoked pot but not inhaled? On the flip side, we now have these dicks trying to be funny with their signs. Quote, "We'll kidnap your mother-in-law for beer money." I'm guessing Funny Boy came up with this beauty while in booth 6 during his $5 an hour shift as the spooge mop-up boy at the adult arcade. Staying on the homeless theme here. I'm a piece of shit and I can't get up.
That was a good one.
Did you like that one?
That was a
I'll
good
give it
one.
up. There you go. Good guy. Oh boy. The new Klebold and Harris greeting cards were released this week. And I'll put this dismal topic to rest. A note to the blatantly obvious, desperate male population. Quit hanging out by women's restrooms in nightclubs. I'm guessing. Yeah. Dana. I'm thinking the last thing a woman wants to see after shoving a tampon in is you and the rest of your slob pack hanging around outside their poopatorium as you drool all over yourself like Cujo while playing pocket pool and nudging your friend every time you see cleavage. Why don't you let women have 2 minutes to themselves without being prematurely ejaculated on and let them piss in peace? I'm with you, ladies. I'm with you. Okay, Daddy, sound it out. For those of you who know me, know how insanely pissed I get every time I see the "What's Up" guys on my TV screen. Don't make me come out there. From the first time I saw this shit until now, I'm embarrassed to be an American. This is the epitome of having no talent and making buttloads of money in show business. Every time I see this sewer trash, as I scramble for the remote to change the channel, I can't help thinking to myself, why am I writing monologues for television and staying up all night to finish my movie script and putting out CDs when all I have to do is come up with a no-brain, ignorant, unwitting, inept, unimaginative, bullshit catchphrase that clone drunk American sheep with room temperature IQs can use 10 times a day to try to appear cool.
Sad, my girlfriend recently died. As you know.
That is too bad.
Well, she was an anorexic. And she got down to the point where she was 6 feet tall, and she was like 72 pounds. But me being the goofball I am, for Christmas like 3 months ago, I gave her Metabolife. So she withered down to like 45 pounds. And we were having...
She turned sideways and you couldn't see her anymore?
Yeah, so we were having relations in bed one night and she's on top and I like to grab the girl's hair a little bit and I just snapped her head right off.
Oh.
So, that kills a boner big time, I tell you what.
Did you finish?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that's all that matters.
I finished in her head. What are you talking about? Get rid of the torso and just, oh yeah.
You got head on your head.
So I did about 6 months for that.
Well, see, I could get into a whole different thing because I believe in energy.
And we gotta wrap this one up.
That hasn't happened to me, but obviously it would make me feel uncomfortable. I mean, that's,
right.
You know.
We gotta wrap this one up. But, all right, so that's it. If you want to give money due, personally, I could give a shit about homeless people. So, but that's just me. I'm a dick.
Compassion.
Compassion for over here, and I'm a dick. So that's okay. You got both spectrums.
I've taken a lot of grief for this guy.
Jerry McMorris went up to him. Why doesn't that long-haired guy like Larry Walker?
Yeah.
Because he's a pussy. Okay, Jerry?
You're just going to be guilty by association.
I know it.
Every time he
Here I
sees
go.
you,
There
you're
goes
with
my
Axl.
credential. He won't see me in the press box anymore.
No more
Rich
freebies
Perez
for Rich.
route.
Anyway, as far as Terrell Davis goes,